Libra, welcome to your bonus in-depth reading. That is yours and theirs. I hope you are well. I hope you are fabulous. Like always with yours and theirs, take what resonates, leave what does not, and reverse those energies as you see fit. More so with yours and theirs, as energy exchange and interchange is real, rapid, and fluid. Having said that, your person that I see on this board today, yeah, it could be about the energies involving a spouse, a significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, ex from 5 years ago. I don't know, but it comes up a lot. But also, I ask too that you make space for those energies that might be about work, family, friends, goal orientation, spiritual development. Those two show up quite a bit. Okay? But going back to the central point, take what resonates, leave what does not. All right. I'm going to put down your baseline, clarify, and then oracles. Show me Libra and their person. Show me Libra and their person. Very good. Like always, or technically speaking, we're going to start with your side of the board. But as I said, reverse energies as you see fit. What's going on? The Hanged Man, 5 of Wands, the Hierophant, okay. Queen of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and the Fool. 7 of Swords, the 6 of Cups, the 4 of Cups. King of Pentacles. You are really trying to lean into your practical side right now. Okay. What's right for you, right? In terms of self-worth and homestead energy, responsibility, accountability. There's an argument here, and there is an argument that you're not trying to participate in. You kind of suspended it. But you're thinking about it. You're thinking about that argument. 5 of Wands. You're not trying to give to it. That's an active argument. This is something you're thinking about, the resistance specifically and what's going on there. That resistance is either coming from inside or outside or a little bit of both. But the Hierophant here, you're showing me commitment energy. Whatever this is important to you. You want to stand by whatever's going on here. And again, it's coming from that sense of practicality, priority, due process, investment. Okay? But you are showing me the Hierophant. Whatever's here is important to you. And you really want to lean into your higher self here. Queen of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, the Fool. Someone's kind of showing me they know what's up. There's this new opportunity here. It looks amazing. Let's open up to it. Okay. Over here, 7 of Swords, 6 of Cups, 4 of Cups. We have that sense of, I don't know about this, but I don't want to disappoint the other person. Okay. So someone here has very strong ideas about a brand new beginning, possibly in work. And I think that's why you're showing me the kind of argument about best interests and practicality. And, we got to think about ourselves here. All right. But yeah, behind it all, there is this layer of emotional intimacy that says, I don't want to disappoint the other person, but I can't give an immediate answer to this either. Okay, so let's take a look at it. So far it's looking pretty straightforward, but, clarify, and I'll say a whole bunch of complexities. I never know. I thought, bless them, I thought Gemini's was like, come on. I was looking for it, and I had to dig, and I was like, there it is. But it initially seemed like it was pretty straightforward, but it wasn't. Anyway, I never know. Let's say that King of Pentacles. Let's see that King of Pentacles, please. Some of you have some very earthian natures in you. Let's see that King of Pentacles, please. Ace of Swords, the Tower, the Sun. You really just want to avoid any disasters. You're saying there's a lot of unknowns. You just want to be happy. You really just want to be happy. And you're not necessarily convinced that whatever this is will make you happy or make you feel any more secure. Okay. That's fair. But you can't deny you'd like to be happier. Everybody would like to be happier, absolutely. So it's kind of like saying if there's going to be change, it has to be worth it. It has to be worth it. I have to know that if I make change, I have to see as much coming as possible and still admit that there's no guarantees. And that's true. I don't want to let my partner down by completely dismissing this outright. Okay? And yeah, I mean, we could all be happier, but what if in making this change, things are not that great either? Okay, that's all fair. That's all fair. Let's take a look at the Hanged Man, 5 of Wands. So again, once more, we're not trying to provoke an argument. We're trying to take into consideration resistance. Where is it coming from? And, you know. Let's see that Hanged Man, please. It's like I've had enough disruption in this life, and I really want to be stable, and you know, happiness isn't always guaranteed. So that's kind of all in there, you know. The Hanged Man. 2 of Cups, the 3 of Wands, and the Knights of Swords. You have the very strong impression that your person's waiting on you to take action. So there it is again. There's that emotional expectation. But the thing is that you're not going to immediately act on this. You're not. I hope they know that. It's just, you're not going to immediately act on this, and nor should you. For some reason, you don't see whatever this is as a simple yes or no structure. You're saying it would require a lot of upheaval, and it has to be worth it, and there's no guarantee that there'll be any more success attached to us or any more happiness attached to us. Just calm down. Okay. I'm not saying that you said that, but it's kind of like, I know. I know you're waiting on me to jump to this, to take action towards it. I know that, and I feel that, but to you it feels like pressure. Yeah, I see that. Okay. Let's talk about it. I can't wait to see what this Ace of Pentacles looks like, because maybe you're right. Maybe it's not all that in a bag of chips. I don't know. Let's see that 5 of Wands, please. But mostly what I'm seeing from you is apprehension, and there's a lot of admission there to making changes, and it's not necessarily all that it's cracked up to be. There's a lot of unknowns there. Something about you really want to kind of stick to predictability and the known stuff and the known factors. We really don't want to deal with any more unknowns, just to take a roll in the dice for potential happiness. Again, I understand. Let's see that 5 of Wands. The 3 of Cups, the 7 of Pentacles, Temperance. See, I think that's your real truth, and why can't you say that? I think that's your real truth. You're kind of happy where you're at. You like your ride. You do. You're used to it. You're used to it. You're used to your particular ride. That's all. It's not anything like egregious or over the top or complicated. It's just 3 Cups, 7 of Pentacles, Temperance. It's grown on you. Like literally, whatever it is. We're looking at practical matters today, guys, but there's someone here that represents the intimacy of a we. And the only real conflict I see is this question of next steps and possibly homestead, practicality, function, work, career, growth. And you're like, I like what I've grown. And more to the point, you're stressing I'm comfortable with what I've grown. I know everybody. You know what you're saying? I know everybody. I know what to do. I know what the gig is. Yeah, it's not the most profitable. You've mentioned that. You're saying it's not the most profitable, but I'm used to it. It's my ride. It's my ride. I like my lane. You're saying I like it. Why can't you just say that? I don't want to change. I don't need to. What? Because you'll sound like a fuddy-duddy or someone who's anti-progress. Some people just like where they're at. You do, in your own way, authentically connect to what you already have in place. I can see that you're a provider. I can see that you're kind of used to assuming a certain level of responsibility when it comes to home energies and stuff like that. And that's pretty normal for the King, Queen of Pentacles. It's part of their gig. But we are all at the end of the day responsible for understanding that where that energy comes from is not just to be successful. A lot of people think they're earning their pentacles just to earn it. For other people, it's because it's a reflection and they honestly understand that it's part of their self-worth. And for you, you're saying you've grown into this. You identify with whatever it is you currently do as part of your self-worth. So while it's not the fastest growing, it's not the hottest thing off the press, and like I said, it's not even that profitable. You're also saying, I like it though. You know, it taught you a lot about you, a sense of patience and steadiness, and it's also joyous. It has its moments for sure. Three of Cups, it's joyous. It's also celebratory. I strongly suspect that many of you have roles where you have a responsibility in bringing people together over peaceful terms, conditions, and in some way that's celebratory. Anyway, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's perfect. It's not without its bullshit. You know, everybody has their bullshit in their work. But for the most part, you're like, I've grown into it. I mean, why can't you just say that? Anyway. Maybe you have, but for some reason they're still pressing into, let's take a chance on this new beginning. Let's see that Hierophant, please. Right there on the split. Let me see Hierophant right there. The Ten of Pentacles, very dedicated to this. You've spent like a lifetime connecting this. You like it. It's comfortable. No. Sometimes the Seven of Pentacles isn't bad. It's just steady. You know? It's not always stagnant. That's the thing about Seven of Pentacles. You have to grow into it to understand if you like where it's at. In other words, it doesn't need any more progress. But for me, I associate it largely with stagnation because I just have that kind of mentality. There's always room for improvement. There's always room for more growth. But that's me, though. That's me. A lot of people are like, I don't want to shift gears. This is good. That's enough. Anyway, let's take a look at your Hierophant, please. Anyway. But you're right, though. Going back to another argument that you've made is like, well, new isn't necessarily better. There's a lot of unknowns in there, too. That's not also wrong. Seven of Cups, Four of Cups, there it is, Two of Swords. You wonder and question how deeply you're disappointing the other person the more you put this off or in any way show resistance. You are aware they're looking at you with expectations to react, and that's also adding to your sense of I'm disappointing you, and just because I like what I'm doing or I don't want to change. So say that. Just say that. I'm in this position now where I understand you want me to go for this new opportunity, but do you understand I actually like what I do? And for some people, it's not about the comfort zone. It's just that's where they really want to be. But yeah, there it is again. There, that freaking, and it confuses them. Am I causing them disappointment? Ask. Am I causing it because I don't want to take this, or I don't want to go for it? I don't want to put my hat in that particular arena. Throw my hat into the arena of the expression. You know. All right, let's see this person. Queen of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, the Fool. They have a strong idea that they know what's up. So let's see it. Which makes me wonder if they still pressing the point. You know, Libra. Let's get a new job. Let's make a name for ourselves. Let's make that Ace of Pentacles bigger, better, stronger. Okay. Let's see that Queen of Swords, please. Eight of Pentacles. Yep, we talking about work, y'all. Four of Swords. The three of Wands. They're looking at you, and you're looking at them, looking at you. And they hope that you're thinking about that work thing. And that you're healing yourself towards it. So they have expectations for you then to kind of wrap your mind around this particular subject. Okay. They expect you to think about the pentacle and the healthiest kind of pentacle. And, yeah, but they're looking at you and you looking back at them about this decision that for some reason hasn't been fully approached yet. All right. I want to see what their version of this Ace of Pentacles is. Okay. You know, your comfort zone will kill you only if it's not that great, but you keep doing it. So is that your comfort zone, or is your comfort zone killing you? Because they seem to have a very strong idea that this Ace of Pentacles will be healthier for you, or something like that. I don't know. But that might be their particular conviction. That doesn't mean that they're correct. There it is. Seven of Swords. Okay. King of Swords. They're looking at you not making up your mind. They know you haven't made up your mind. Seven of Swords. Oh dear. Oh, come on, man. Uh the word passive comes to mind because we're not openly addressing this. You don't want to argue. And you have thought about it. You keep thinking about it though, but you don't want to seem to give them your answer because, like, I'm afraid I'll disappoint them. They're going to be disappointed anyway. They already know you're refraining from a declarative. They already know. And if they want it that bad, you tell them to go after it. Honestly, the Fool. I know that they mean well. Queen of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, the Fool. But it's like, it is at this point, the way they're looking at you, it's a little bit of projection theory here. You know, the expectations of what they would do, they're putting it onto you, and they're telling you it'd be better for you. That's my problem. So I don't think they're a bad person. I really don't, unless they become obsessed. But the fact that they're looking at you, so you still haven't thought about that Ace of Pentacles. You still haven't said anything about that Ace of Pentacles. You still haven't said anything about that Ace of Pentacles. It's been a month now. Maybe they should get that job. Maybe they should go after it. Okay? Because is this about the environment? You seem to be very at peace and happy with the environment. But they seem to be convinced it'll be healthier for you. A good decision. But they also see how you're avoiding it. Let's see that Fool, please. Two of Swords, the world, justice. They see you not going to take it. Okay, so they see you as not willing to take the risk. I'm glad it caught up to them. I am, but I also think to speed up the process, honey, give them a declarative. Because right now, they're interpreting your indecision as a decision, which is technically correct. Okay? It's not an accusation, don't take it as one. Indecision is still a decision. To just let time pass and let it answer for you, it's still a decision. So there's that too. You both have very similar, they're looking at you, you're looking back at them, you're still looking at me. I don't want to go anywhere. You haven't said it, but they pick up on it. They know. They see you literally backing away from that decision. And it's, again, that doesn't make you a bad guy. Just say, look, I'm not trying to cause an argument, but I really legitimately like where I'm at, and I don't feel the need to change, and I don't think change is necessarily better. That's it. They see I'm not making a decision, therefore it's an answer, so I'll give them that. That is true. But you don't want to do it because you're afraid you'll disappoint them. But it's already here, honey. That's already here. That's their thing. That's what they need to deal with. And if it meant that much to them, they got to do it for themselves. They need the job. They need the Ace of Pentacles, not you. Okay? So there's two parts here. You owning this and just, you don't have to be a dick about it. Say, I've given this a lot of thought. And I know in some way this is disappointing to you, but I really like where I'm at. You know, I'm still here, I'm still providing. But new isn't necessarily better. Besides, I like what I do. I've built into it. I'm committed to it. And they're like, yeah, I know. I thought it would be nice. And that's because for them, that would be the opportunity they took. Okay? So maybe it's like, hey, what about you though? Okay? What about you? What would you like to do for yourself? Because it is a little bit of outward projection, but it's like there really isn't a villain here. There's no bad guy. It's just two people afraid to hurt and disappoint each other. You know, that old classic bullshit. Honestly. All right, let's say that's Seven of Swords. Let's say that's Seven of Swords, please. They do back off of it. I just hate the way they concluded it. No choice. I knew they wouldn't make a decision. That's what hurts to see that. But you were also afraid to say. You know? All right, Seven of Wands, King of Wands, and the Four of Cups. There it is. Just the assumption of disappointment. Not having the energy for this. Not wanting to put the energy into this. Again, you saw it as a disappointing element. If I don't show some enthusiasm, they'll already be disappointed. God, whatever that Ace of Pentacles is, they were convinced it had your name on it. I don't see it being as abrasive or pushy. It's just, not at all, not from them. It was just, hey. But I admit the nudges add up. They do. It's like they're going to be disappointed that I'm not enthusiastic about this at all. But I'll just put it on. And that in and of itself was an answer, you know? They were going to be disappointed, honey. You're not in a position where you want new. You just don't. You're not. And I say that for all the time. With new beginnings, and no matter what form they take, you're either ready for them, you want them, or you don't. And this one's not yours. It's a nice idea, but it's clearly something more for them, not you. And I don't know why they don't see that. This is their call, maybe, to a new beginning. This is their call to get some kind of job or career started or something. Volunteer, I don't know, but they got extra energy and an extra mind for it, so I don't know. It's like, this is what I would do, or I think is best for you. That's you. That's you. That's you. And you might even gently push back on it. Maybe this is your time to take on a new thing. You know? Six of Cups. Knight of Wands and the Three of Swords. And it's just, you two know each other a long time. I have no doubt. You're soul bonded. And yeah, for somebody it feels like rejection. They don't have the energy for it. That's it. There's still love here, absolutely. There's still a mutual sense of respect and love for each other. Time served, memory shared. You know, you two know each other very well. Clearly, you anticipated their reaction. They anticipated yours. Like, that's how well you two know each other. The love is still there, but yeah, someone feels rejected. Of course, we knew this was going to happen. You both do. Yours is largely stemming from rejection, knowing in some way you felt like you were going to disappoint them because you're not interested. You're really not. And they in some way knew you would decline. Again, that's all I'm really saying. I have half a mind not to even bother with that last Four of Cups. It's like, I got it. I synced it. We synced it. But I want you two to walk away about this feeling better. Maybe say, it's just not the opportunity for me right now. That's it. I'm good where I'm at right now. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a crime. There's work I need to do here or finish here, and you are not wrong. That's it. You're still built into that, no matter what. Well, at least for now. Let's see that Four of Cups, please. So I want you both to take heart that you two actually know each other very well. Page of Pentacles, yeah. The Chariot and the Five of Pentacles, I know. Yeah, there's something in this about, even if I took off towards it, I have no motivation to keep it, which is true, because it's not your ace. You get it? This is why I wish people would understand about the aces. You're either ready for them and you want to take them on and assume the responsibility and the energy that goes into it, or you can't. And you're like, I wouldn't be able to sustain it anyway. It would be a lie. You're right. Even if I pursued it, you're saying it could be a bullshit chase. Yeah, I know. It's because your heart's literally not in it. You don't have the motivation. Okay? I got it. And I just that's it. Just explain it. Just explain it to your person. They might be like, yeah, I know. Do it anyway. Don't take it for granted, and don't let anybody, including soul bonds, brush you off. Articulate yourself. Say these kind of things. That way it's clear. It takes away from the sting. And it also makes two people remember, oh yeah, we're people. You know? We're people. There you go. Because I can see where you two probably have the habit of taking each other for granted. I know how they're going to react. They know how I'm going to react. And that's probably one of the biggest downsides to soul bonds. By far, it's con. Is that you've developed that unique connection between that person so well that it largely at some point starts to just be felt and not spoken. So you leave a lot of room for error in taking each other for granted. So make sure, don't just let them arrive to the conclusion, well, Libra's not doing nothing, so I guess that's a no. No. Say exactly what you've told me. You don't want to disappoint them. But you're also not up to this. Even if you tried pursuing it, you'd lose steam for it. And you'd disappoint them anyway. It's not where you're at. You know? But did you think about maybe Ace of Pentacles is right for you? Maybe not exactly that opportunity, but something else. You know? It's almost like this person wants you to recognize in them their own sense of potential. Yeah, it's a generous offer. Somebody from their point of view, they're convinced that Ace of Pentacles is worth a lot. Yeah, then why aren't you taking it? It's not yours. Manifest. See, I think they want this for themselves. They want this for themselves. Generous offer, big success, manifest. And why do you have such a disastrous point of view of it? It's not yours. They've been manifesting something. Encourage them. Encourage them, honey. You go after that ace. You go after it. You know? You're saying, I don't need it. And you just asking me is just making me feel like I'm disappointing you. I don't need it. I'm good. I'm satisfied. I'm satiated in my work efforts. Thank you. Not all this glitters is gold. But you, what about you? That means they're lined up for a new beginning, but why are they putting it onto you? Why don't they see it for themselves? Well, if you're in the role of provider and they've always kind of attached to you like that or looked to you like that, then that might make sense why they're projecting it outwards onto you. I wouldn't know. I expect aces for myself. I wouldn't know. That's weird to me. It's like, let me put all this idea of success on my other person instead of myself. That I understand. Okay. You know, but that's, I kind of want them to do it for themselves. That's all I'm saying. And stop putting it onto you. I don't know. I feel like this person cut their opportunities too short if they're looking at someone else to fulfill roles that they might take. Okay. Trust, let go. I think you know somewhere inside that you can trust to let this go. I would just speak unto it as we discussed. Okay? Again, we don't want to take it for granted that you two know each other so well that you can just be like, no. No, you two still need to see each other as people. Okay? That's all. We have the letters G, E, O, K, and V. We have the owl, a strong sense of intelligence, wisdom, insight, experience, then the big eyes, very observant. All right, and then we have the arrow of Sag. You know, there might be some Sag energy in here, but the point strikes home. Cupid possibly striking home. I'm sure, yeah, of course, there's still love here. I saw it. Mostly, it was showing itself in fear of disappointing the other person. You know? It's an unnecessary pressure. If they needed something to strike home, I wish they'd see that for themselves. Anyway. It could be connecting to Sag, could have some Sag in your chart, like I said. All right. Libra, honey, I do hope this helped you. It was interesting. Put it in the comments. Take care. Be well.